here is my top 7 jobs that you can do between $20 an hour up until 200 or even more per hour. We're going to talk about this right now. You ever walked into Walmart and there's a big brand in Walmart called Time and True. I believe that's what the name is, and it's actually a clothing store. First of all, nowadays people don't even want to get out their house. That's why DoorDash and Uber Eats is so popular. And what that is, Time and True clothing line is a very inexpensive way to look fashionable. But sometimes, you really can't tell nowadays if somebody has something real or fake. At least I can't. And you can actually buy that stuff up. $100 can buy you a lot of either shoes or just regular clothes simply from Walmart, guys. And if you can put that online and send that to somebody who orders from you, it's a win-win. And or just eBay. The only thing with eBay is that eBay actually controls the traffic. And that's a whole nother conglomerate when we talk about traffic. But eBay controls who looks at your page. But if you actually want to be in control of who looks at your page, you run your own traffic. You go on places like Facebook to advertise. You go on places like Instagram. You might even, wear your own shirts and your own shoes and put an ad and say, listen, it's for sale, free shipping or whatever your offer is, and just throw it right there on the internet. And you control your own audience who actually sees what it is that you're trying to sell. So number one, buying stuff and selling things online. And before I actually go to number two, you can actually, some people have old coins, and that's a whole different type of selling in the sense of you can do it also on social media, but that's a whole different type of price range. And if you have collectibles or maybe comic books, I was a big comic book person when I was a kid, so I have a lot of collectible comic books that I'm not selling. just to let you know. But if you actually have those and you're willing to sell them, guess what? You can make some serious bank with that. So number one, again, buying and selling things right online. Number two, copywriting. And I say that because I'm not talking about the copywriting that you actually see in school where you're just learning how to write. It's like an English type of thing that you have to take. But copywriting is very, very important. Here's why. Because nowadays, everybody either has a website or a funnel. Now, a funnel is more of a sales mechanism, and it takes you down the sales process of everything that you might have in the sense of what it is that you offer, what it is that you sell. But there's a persuasion in the writing style of how you actually want to communicate to your audience, And there's even apps and programs that actually shows you where the audience might leave your page. So let's say they might go through the opt-in page on that, and then they might scroll through your sales page as far as what it is and what kind of products you're trying to sell, what services you offer, and they might click out. So you might be wondering what made the person click out. Why did they gave me the email address, but when they hit my sales page, they actually opted out my whole particular web funnel in the first place. And then it's because of the copy. And I'm not going to say it's just because of that, but one of the main things that, especially if you have a low percentage of people buying after they actually come to your sales site, is it could be the copy that's not really, it's not really engaging with them. It doesn't make them say, ooh, I need this. And that's what copywriters are. Copywriters are basically communicators that just get somebody to engage on their website. And it's really a skill. And you can make, on the low end, $500 to $1,000 to $1,500. That's on the low end per month. Now, it's also a passion. It's a very, very passionate job because some people don't like to write. That's just what it is. But if you are willing to develop a skill set and you don't mind it, that's on the low end of what you can make per month. So I know copywriters that make, I know a guy, I actually mentored with him when I did the Copywriting Academy with him. He was offered $175,000 to actually do a website and turned it down. That's how much money he was actually generating from his copywriting business. And in a sense, he actually had another business that he was doing that he was making much more money from. And it wasn't even the money. He was actually doing it because he actually loved what he was doing. So the copywriting skill of his kind of died down, and he didn't really want to do it anymore because he actually wanted to be more on camera like I am. But I just wanted to show you the power of what copywriters actually make. You can either charge somebody by the hour. It's unlimited, guys. Or you can actually do it by month, and you can actually have them pay you half up front, and then when they like it and they actually do everything over, you can actually now get the rest of your money. But number two, copyright. Number three, closing. Closing is a high. It's a really great skill. You know, I'm actually looking for closers myself, and it's really the person that gets on the phone when the person that the salesperson is trying to pitch them an offer. So it could be something like cars. It could be something like what's high in demand is salesmen, good salesmen. I'm not talking about the sleazy ones that we seen in the 80s and the 70s that was trying to sell us that lemon car, but a good salesman that doesn't get offended when they have negative people they come across negative people who are just so doubtful or so fearful or just don't want to hear what they have to say. But there's a persuasion to the talk. So before I told you about copywriting and the persuasion to the how you write on somebody's funnel or internet, but now there's a kind of persuasion on how people interact with each other in the sense of how they talk to people over the phone. Because nowadays everybody's texting and email, so the communication between human beings have like kind of dropped. But at the same time, we do need that person to person's relationship, because guess what? Human beings buy other human beings stuff. So you can't tell me that there's no way that this job would just ever go away, because guess what? If you're offering me something that's about $500, you have to convince me why I should actually take out my wallet, swipe my credit card, and pay you $500 for this service. So there's a skill to that. In closing, a closing salesman makes top bank. So like I said, you might not necessarily love people, but if you're willing to put in that work in, if there's something that you actually are passionate to do, because it's also a passion, it's a passion job, but if there's something that you're really willing to do, you can be sitting next to, Grant Cardone and, Phil Pustiaski and a whole bunch of other gurus in the sales real estate game, because guess what? You know how to close, you know how to interact, so you don't take rejection harshly or badly, because that's another thing. A lot of people take rejection really bad. They don't want to do it anymore. So if you can develop that skill, you can make bank. I'm telling you, and it's all you do. They call you. You don't have to get the clients. All you have to do is closing, and you can make big freaking bucks. That's number three. Number four is tutoring. Everybody needs to learn something. I mean, if you look at one of the top online training sessions, and it's really the top, because it is inexpensive, but they have really good teachers on there, and it's called Udemy. Udemy is one of the biggest platforms when it comes to tutoring. And guess what? You don't have to do it online. You can put something on Craigslist. Craigslist actually is, I know it's ancient and it looks so 80s looking, but Craigslist actually have audience, and you can actually put your services up. People love to learn a new language. You know how much money you actually make being learning 4 or 5 different languages and learning how to write? You could be in the kid industry, and a lot of parents love to have their kids just diverse in different skills, and just wanting to learn different languages so they can actually be more prestige when they get older, and jobs can be more available just because you taught them. It doesn't have to be a language thing. It can be math. It can be training your pets. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can train somebody, a pet lover, to train their pet, in a sense. You get what I'm saying? So it could be something that you actually love to do, another passion job that you have no problem just training somebody how to do. Basketball, it could be soccer, it could be skating, it can be singing, it can be playing guitar. It's unlimited, guys. So sometimes when we think about tutoring, we're thinking about it in a way of an academic. No, it can be something that you're particularly good at, that you can actually have no problem training somebody else, teaching somebody else, and you set your own price. So number 4, tutoring. Number 5, being a sitter. And that could be any sitter: a pet sitter, house sitter, babysitter. And this is actually, when it comes to the babies, especially with a lot of people that's really abusing children nowadays, you actually want to be somebody who loves children, and you actually want to be very gentle and understanding to children. I can't really explain it no more than that. And you want to be certified in that respect. You don't have to be, but it looks good that you are, and you want to have those references there to actually know that you actually love kids and you actually can pay attention to them, not just watching them, making sure they don't fall off the counter, but you just want to make sure that even when they're playing with each other, that they're actually playing in a way where it's safe. and you just keep a very, very visual eye on them. You can feed them, and you know how to nurture a child, or just watch them and just be that person that's kind of the middle person between the parent and the child. And but sitting is not just babysitting. House sitting. Some people live in great homes. Guys, this is a great way to actually think that, to actually kind of fake the funk here and actually say, hey, welcome to my home on YouTube, whatever. But I'm just kidding with you. But house sitting is a very, very serious thing. People pay you just to keep the house safe. Make sure that nobody's on the yard. Make sure nobody's trying to break in. That mail is coming, and they might need important mail that's coming through, and it's a great way to build a rapport with people that might actually be in a field that you might want to get in, in the long run. Or it just could be a great way to just sit in somebody's couch, get paid to while they're on vacation, and just be in different places all at the same time. You set your own hours, set your own rules, and you actually kind of compromise with the homeowner, and you get paid based on your time that they're paying you just sitting there. The next type of sitting could be dogs, cats. Doesn't matter. Just something that you actually love to do. And I say love because pets are not easy. I have a pet, and sometimes she can be a little stubborn. But at the same time, I love my pet. So it's like, you gotta have some type of love there. It can't be just money based, because when you look at the money, are you gonna abuse that dog that's not listening to you when you actually baby or pet sitting him, I should say? No. But you're gonna do it in a way where you treat the dog or the pet with care. Walk them when they need to be walked. Make sure you're picking up after them. Feed them at certain times. Some dogs and cats are, they might have diabetes. You might actually, say, hey, listen, I can actually give you a nutritional plan and work that out with the owner, and they actually pay you for your value that you're giving to that particular pet that they love. Because pets are family in a sense. So that's another part of sitting. So number 5, sitters. You can simply, if you have the space for it, and if you sometimes people have their basement and it's furnished, you can actually rent out your space for it to Airbnb. And what's cool about it, a lot of people don't know this, but let me tell you this trick. And it's not really a trick in the sense of something that you have to do underhandedly, but it's something interesting that the government is giving out. They're giving out $50,000 in grants to people who are willing to actually open up an Airbnb in their house. It's best to, if you have a room, or if you have a full furnished basement that you don't really use, or even just a connecting, some people have houses where you don't have to actually, you can rent out a space without actually having to meet that person. Like that person don't have to walk through your front door. They could be going, through the side way to get to their particular space of the apartment. And it's cool because the government pays you. That's why you see so many Airbnbs. It's not just something just to make money, but the government is actually funding it where you can actually fix up your area. And you don't, it's a grant, guys, so you don't have to even pay it back. Which, how cool is that? $50,000. Imagine what you can do with it. Now, I'm not saying go buy a car with it, but if you're supposed to be fixing the shower head and putting new floors down, you use that money to actually refurbish your house or part of your house. And guess what? You make money, and Airbnb advertises for you. So you don't even have to put in advertising costs if you don't want to. Now, if you do, it's even more people that knowing you, or knowing that you actually have this available, and you want to make your house look nice. I know a lot of Airbnbs that to me doesn't really look like I really want to stay there. Me personally, that's just me, but at the same time, you want to make it really attractive, and you want to add these, amenities like transportation or museums you might have around there. People are really geeked about going to different places, because guess what? Hotels, they cost a lot of money. That's just what it is, and that's all I have to say about that. But in the sense, if you can provide even breakfast, something that makes somebody say, oh, I want to stay there, and yada, 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 and it looks good, you are a hot commodity, and you can make some serious bucks just by doing Airbnb. That's number 6. Number 7, my last one, is social media management. Because guess what? Every day, we might not have time to either make videos or post memes and things of that nature, or check on our ads. So we just kind of let it flow for those people who don't have social media managers. And if you have the time to do it, even better, because guess what? You can be that person that just charges that online marketer or that online entrepreneur a certain rate per month or per hour, whatever it is. And depending on what they want you to do, how many posts they want you to put up, where they want you to target, and if they want you to personally do the targeting, you figure it out yourself, even more money you can charge them. And I'm not saying in the sense of, oh, you're just killing somebody with your fees. No. But what I'm saying is, you can actually be that person to help them out and grow their business. And guess what? When people hit their particular page, they're the ones, the entrepreneurs, the ones that actually has the product and the service. They're getting paid. So in turn, they pay you. Now, you can test it on yourself if you're not good at it, or you can just simply be a person just post stuff up. You don't necessarily have to be good at ads. You can say, hey, I will post your stuff up on a daily basis. If you need 4 posts a day, 5 posts a day, this is what I charge per day to do that type of thing. And you can have a package deal on places like Fiverr, Upwork, on freelancers.com. And there's different places where you can advertise your own self to be of service to a whole bunch of people who want or desperately need a social media manager. Because a lot of entrepreneurs, like when I first started, we had a 9-to-5 job. We could not be home all the time and actually do all of this. So we had to come home and check our phones, check our laptops or our desktops, see what was going on. So that's a great way. And guys, those are my 7 top paying jobs that you can do right now, today. Pick one, get started, advertise yourself, be of service, love what you do. And if you don't, learn to love what you do, learn to deal with the problems and be an answer to that. If something hits you and you if a light bulb struck, hit that like, hit that notification, hit that subscribe button, or share the video. Somebody who you know that wants to hear this. Guys, I do this for one reason. One reason only. Because you're worth it. See you in the next video.